hefty amount of Waterstones vouchers, so I've gone pretty wild, and I'm here to share with you what I've bought. What I was going to say before we get started, please check the links below and follow me on Instagram, especially my Bookstagram, because I'm becoming more active on there, and I would love if you came and spoke to me about books, all of your book recommendations. If you've read any books that I have read, I love talking about books, so engage with me about books. The lighting is like washing me out and making my hair look a different colour, but we move. I think we should just get started with the book haul. I don't even know where to begin. I'm just going to pick them at random and we can look at them together. The first book that I picked up is a popular one at the moment on Bookstagram and Book Talk and whatever, and that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I've seen this everywhere, but I haven't yet got around to reading it. To be honest, when I picked it up, I had no idea what it was about. I also got my mum here as part of her Christmas present, so I think we're going to do like a buddy read and read it at the same time, which will be cute. I didn't realise how young this author was. It makes me want to write a book, if I'm being honest. I've got like a few ideas, but it's quite daunting, like actually writing them down, but we shall see in the next few years. So this is Powerless. My light is like reflecting off it. We will read the blurb together. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Isla. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Isla and shunned from society. No one knows this better than, is it Baden Grey, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Isla's princes, Kai Azza, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's power. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Biden is, completely ordinary. It says, hunted, hunter, destined for each other. So yeah, I think this sounds fun. I'm not too sure when I'll get around to it. I'll have to like nag my mum if I want to read it at the same time as her. I know that this is like the start of a series. I don't know how many are going to be in the series, but I know that another one is due out at some point this year. So yes, we have Powerless. I then picked up The Other Side of Never, Dark Tales from the World of Peter and Wendy. So this is like an anthology, a collection of stories inspired by Peter Pan. These stories take the original tales of Peter and Wendy, the lost boys in Tinkerbell, twisting and turning them from dystopias to the gritty streets of London. These stories will keep you reading all night and straight until morning. I love the cover of this book. I really love the cover of this book. like fairy tale retellings, love them. And recently, in December actually, every year at a place near where I live, they have like a display, I don't know, like an event basically where this house is transformed into different fairy tales. They did Narnia in 2020, was it 2022 it was Into the Woods, and this last year it was Peter Pan and Neverland. So when I saw this I was like, yeah, I wanna read some retellings. So these are just like short stories. I don't know if I'll read this in one go or if I'll dip in and out of them, but I am excited to see other people's takes on a classic fairy tale. So, next we have a duology. Again, another very popular duology all over the book world on social media, and that is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Killig. Maiden, Monster, Martyr. This is the Shepherd King series. Another series that I picked up not knowing what they're actually about. I just saw people love them and I was like, I need to be in on the hype. So it starts with a One Dark Window. I don't know if these are YA or adult because I picked them up from the adult section, but then the next time I went in they were in the YA section, so I have no idea. Again, I just love the covers as well. I will read the back. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, she is thrust into a world of shadow and deception. Together they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of Blunder from the magic infecting it. As the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. Nightmare is slowly, darkly taken over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. Gothic fantasy debut. I love a gothic fantasy. So yeah. We have this picked up, and I love a duology, like when it's like longer than just a standalone but not too many in a series, like love. And then I'm not going to read the back of Two Twisted Crowns because I don't want to spoil it, but this is what the cover looks like. I love the covers, they're like kind of witchy, spooky, eerie. I like how like the red stands out against kind of the toned down bleak background colours. Okay, so next we have a four book series that I just got all the books for at once, even though I haven't even read the first one, so I'm So I was like literally sold when I found this series. I had never heard of it before. I saw this book initially and I was like, maybe I'll get that. And then a few weeks later I saw the other three and I was like, I'm definitely gonna get it. But then they didn't have this book, so I just bought the last three and ordered the first one in because I have no control. I have like no impulse control at all. So I bought all four. They came to Earth. Pestilence, war, famine, death. 4 horsemen riding their screaming steeds, racing to the corners of the world. 4 horsemen with the power to destroy all of humanity. They came to Earth and they came to end us all. And I think these are like are they enemies to lovers? There's romance in them, like there is. And each book obviously follows like a different horseman, I assume, because we have pestilence, and then we have war. Again, the cover. This is the second one. And then we have famine. And then we have famine. It's got like the scales. And then finally we have death. So I really hope that you enjoy these, please. They're published by Bloom, and I feel like I've read like a couple of books published by Bloom and I didn't enjoy them, but I'm just gonna pretend that I did. And just hope that these are different and that I really love them. Each book is like pretty thick, to be honest. Like this one's like over 550 pages, so it's a little bit of a commitment. Even though like I've been reading like 800-page books recently, so like 550 doesn't seem that big. Even though I really like you know, like a 400-page book. Like, don't you think that's just like the perfect length? Next we have another book that I hadn't heard of. These are all fantasy books. Pretty much, I think every single one but one is a fantasy book. And I picked up Ledge by Stacey McEwen. This is the first one in a new series, the Glacian trilogy. So it's going to be a trilogy, and this is book 1, which came out last year. So I don't know when the other books are due to be out. In a place known as the Ledge, a civilian. Let's start again. In a place known as the Ledge, a civilization is trapped by a vast chasm and sheer mountain face. Rations are small, living is tough, and there is no escape without befalling a deathly drop. What's more, every season the people must present themselves as a sacrifice to the Glacians, mysterious and vicious winged creatures who reside beyond the Ledge. Dawson has so far avoided the annual culling, but her luck has run out. She is ripped from her icy home with no idea what will happen to her. Enslaved, murdered, worse. Fortunately, a half-Glacian called Ryan offers to help them both escape. But how can she trust one of the very creatures that plagued her life? Dawson is a survivor, and she is not afraid to cut anyone down to live. With a slow, burning romance, high stakes, and even higher rewards, this richly going into this like the shop and just reading the back of blurbs and getting the ones that I think sound good, which has been really fun. So next we have another duology, and this is a YA fantasy, and it is Cursed and Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I know that she's written another series, another series that's really popular. I can't remember the name of it or any of the books, but she's like a popular author. And these is a duology, and it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. So I've never read a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, so I'm super interested in how that is gonna come across and like be written. I also, again, I just love the covers of these books. So this is Cursed, as you can see we've got like the gothic castle and a very mysterious figure walking up to him. Oh, you know what? This is the second one. This is the second one. First one is Gilded. That's the sequel. So the first one, we have a castle in like a cage with a crown on. So Gilded, all magic comes at a price, but love wasn't part of the bargain. Again, they are a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. This one is just the first one. Read this one first. Cursed by the god of lies, a miller's daughter has developed a talent for storytelling, but all of her tales as false as they appear. When one of Cyrilda's stories draws the attention of the devastating Earl King, she finds herself swept away into a world of enchantment, where ghouls prowl the earth and ravens track her every move. The king locks Cyrilda in a castle dungeon and orders her to spin straw into gold or be killed for lying. In despair, Cyrilda unwittingly summons a mysterious young man to her aid, and he agrees to help her for a price. But love wasn't meant to be part of the bargain. So yeah, the first is Gilded. The sequel is Cursed. So expect to see these books in a reading wrap up at some point. I don't know when, but they will be there. Next we have one that I got for Christmas, and that is Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt. This cover is just like so weird. I literally saw this like in passing, and I like texted my boyfriend like, oh, this like looks good, and then he got it as part of my Christmas present, so he's top marks for him, brownie points for him for like remembering just like some random book that I mentioned. I basically just thought this like looked like a weird story. I think it's meant to be like a horror-y, sci-fi book, and it says a horror novel of obsession, violence and pleasure. When a turf bombs Frankie's workplace, she blows up Frankie's life with it. As the media descends like vultures, Frankie tries to cope with the carnage, binge drinking, sleeping with strangers, pushing away her friends. Then she meets Vanya, mysterious, beautiful, terrifying Vanya. The two hit it off immediately, but as the relationship intensifies, so does Frankie's feelings that Vanya is hiding something from her. When Vanya's secrets threaten to tear them apart, Frankie starts digging and unearths a sinister, depraved conspiracy, the roots of which go deeper than she ever imagined. Shocking, grotesque, downright filthy, Brainworms confronts the creeping reality of political terrorism while exploring the depths of love, pain and identity. Like, that sounds good. So yeah. I'm hoping it's as good as it sounds. Pray for me. And then finally, we have a book that I've been meaning to get for fucking ages, like literally like over a year, and that Time Learned Day Stories. It's like a little like addition, spin-off, whatever you call it, novella to the Folk of the Air series, which I read last year. I enjoyed them. I gave them like between 4 and 4.5 stars. I never picked this up for some reason. It's been on my like TBR for so long, but I just never got around to buying it. Every time I went in to buy it, like they didn't have it, so as soon as I saw it I was like, just get it. So yeah. And I guess this gives Carden's like backstory. I might be completely wrong by that. I am just guessing. So, but you know, it's about Carden. And the illustrations are delicious. It's illustrated all the way through. Let me show you some of the illustrations. Right up my street. Love. Just love. I love me a Carden, so excited to read and delve into this world again. So yeah, they are all the books that I have bought. I bought them at the start of January. I have got another book haul to film, a more recent book haul, which I'm going to film. And then I will definitely have another one next month. So yeah, have you read any of these books, or do you have any books that you recommend? What books are you excited to read?